Yeah, oof. That's all I have to say. Good night, everybody. Welcome to the Mike Missanelli Show on a day after a disastrous Philadelphia Eagles loss. And there's no way to sugarcoat it, folks. They got their hats handed to them, and they got a simple beatdown in the most simple form, in the trenches, where the Eagles were supposed to be okay. Well, they weren't okay against the Dallas Cowboys, who used a simplistic approach to gash them right down the field. Simple blocking scheme where offensive linemen double-teamed the tackles. They didn't figure the linebackers would catch up, and they didn't catch up, and the defensive coordinator didn't catch up because he still went with double safety high, and I had a field day. Listen, this is not good, and I know this is a rebuilding year, and I know this is supposed to be a process, but there are some people out there that actually thought this is going to be a good team and maybe a division-winning team. Not so right now. Here's my worry. You know, you're looking at the two most important cogs of this year, the quarterback and the head coach, both novices, and you can add the coaching staff to that. They struggled, and right now they look confused as hell, both of them. The head coach for the second straight game didn't seem that he had any idea on what to do game plan-wise offensively. And the defensive coordinator did not make an adjustment as they were gashing them. And you're sitting there watching them, and it's real simple. Dallas is going, we might as well do this. We'll get down the field. There were only three things that they did well yesterday. Three things, 60 minutes of football. The end zone fumble resulted in touchdown. They stopped the Dak sneak, although that was kind of precarious as well. And the Watkins catch. Anything other than that was crap. That was a total beatdown, and I didn't expect a total beatdown. I thought that they would be able to hang in there and actually win that game. But, you know, we got to break this down. What is the offense? I mean, this is a man without a feel right now. We knew that Sirianni was a first-year head coach. We wondered if he was up to the challenge. Both the quarterback and the head coach looked kind of scared last night. They didn't know what was up. When Miles Sanders gets 2 carries in an entire game, and the quarterback is throwing the most simple patterns behind guys, you got a problem. I mean, forget about the long ball to Rager. We've seen that before where he just doesn't have enough push on the ball, and it results in what it resulted in last night. But the game plan, it's funny because after the game, Sirianni's talking about, well, you know, it was a matter of we were stalling out, or you know, we had a penalty that stopped us, and we were behind in the game, and then we had to pay. No. Well, listen, there were 2 times they could have established a running attack. One was 14-7. For crying out loud, and they had a possession. And the other is for the opening possession of the first half when they were down 20-7, when it was imperative that they come up with an adjustment and a plan. That drive was the most important drive of the game for them. They had to do something with that. They didn't run the ball once. So I don't want to hear that they were behind and they had to pass. Now, here's the beauty of this whole thing. You look around the NFL, you see multiple motion type of patterns. Everybody does it because the defenses are so good this year, in this day and age. They're too fast. They're too quick. So you got to throw them off with motion. That's why guys like Shanahan get lauded. They didn't have one play that had pre-snap motion last night. Not one. Think about that. That's almost impossible in today's NFL. So what are they designing? I don't know what they're designing. Forget the record for penalties in a 3-game span. They're undisciplined. They don't look well coached. They don't look like they have a plan. We're supposed to grow with a young coaching staff. It's one thing to have a team and not expect to go to the playoffs. It's another thing to look like one of the worst teams in the league. And that's what they did last night. So what does it all mean? It means clearly the Dallas Cowboys are the superior team in the division, and it's really all that counts because nobody else is going to make the playoffs. So if you're bailing out on that, what do we have to look forward to this season? I see loss in the next 3 games. I don't know about you. The way this team's playing, can you make a case they even beat Carolina? I don't think so. So we're going to talk about it. I mean, look at the stat sheet. I'm not telling you anything different. You saw the same game. I saw the reaction on Twitter. I've got a stack of emails about this whole thing. First 7 drives. Interception, punt, interception, punt. A lot of that has to fall on what the offense coordinator is drawing up, what he wants to do when he attacks the defense. They look like a novice team, man. I don't know what more to say. Tyrone, I know you're equally frustrated. Jen is equally frustrated. Ty, what was your view last night?
Yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible in a lot of ways, and I have some concerns. Now, not panic yet as far as I got concerns. So the first game they looked good, and Sirianni called a good game, it looked like. They were better than the 49ers for the first 29 minutes of a 60-minute game week 2, and then they get beat pillar to post week 3. My concern is that the coach, as time goes on, he's running out of ideas, and it's only game 3. Now that doesn't mean that it's a panic, because next game maybe he has a great game plan against the Chiefs and they lose, but we come away looking like, okay, he did some good things. But that's concerning. That first game good, then he had a good half, although they only scored 11 points, and then a terrible game. So that's trending in the wrong way. My other concern is related to the quarterback. And this one good game in Atlanta doesn't decide he's going to be great, and one bad game doesn't decide he's going to stink. But every mistake he made last night were the knocks on him when he was at Alabama, the knocks on him when he was in Oklahoma, and the knocks on him before he was drafted was maybe not a big enough arm. If you put that deep ball ahead, Rager doesn't run good routes. Maybe he doesn't catch it, but it's not a turnover. Being a one-read quarterback. These are all the things they said about him. Not having good anticipation. Not settling his feet in the pocket. Hurts was, because if it's not about wins and losses, you ask what do we have to look forward to. If it's not about wins and losses, I can accept that. Then it's all about the coach and the quarterback then. Okay. Coach, we already discussed. If the quarterback's making the same mistakes now as he was making in college, then that shows me a lack of progression possibly. And then that also tells me his ceiling could be low. Could be. Not saying it is. And that's a big concern for me going forward, because even if what is the best Hurts if these things are what he's going to be? If he's not going to go through his progressions, if he's going to have happy feet in the pocket, if his arm isn't strong enough, what's the optimum Jalen Hurts? That scares me a little bit after seeing that performance. Now, and I thought he was going to have a good game. I was completely wrong, but I thought he was going to have a good game because that Dallas defense, they manned up on the outside. And truth be told, the tight ends were open the whole damn game, and he just missed them. So I'm just concerned with those two things. If I'm not going to care about wins and losses, fine. What's up with the coach and the quarterback, the two things I'm supposed to care about?
Let's cut to the chase, because both of those people look like right now, I think it's fair to say, they're overmatched. They were overmatched in that game last night. They looked confused, but the quarterback looked confused. He didn't have a look of swagger on him at all. And the head coach the same way. The head coach couldn't figure out what was up in that game, and they're concerning. I hate when people say, "Well, he's a first-year coach and he's a first-year quarterback." They get room for they have room for growth, but they look totally like they didn't know what to do about it last night, and that's a different level. Yes,
deer in headlights, both of them last night.
Yeah, they did.